What's up guys, Asian Legend here. Today I'm going to be making a build guide update video on my tri-elemental run and gun endgame Tactician. A lot of changes in 0.4 which did force me to change my build just like everybody else. But I'm going to be going over what's changed on my equipment, my skill and spirit gems, and then go over some passive tree changes. Not going to re-explain everything like I did for the last build guide. I think you guys kind of already know what's going on, so I assume you do. If you haven't, I will have the old guide down in the description. But yeah, so let's get right into it. So let's do it. Okay, so start with the weapon. So the Sagawell's Rune of the Sky got nerfed. You can only do one now instead of like 4. So instead, I put Spirit because there's a new Spirit gem that got introduced with the update, which actually allows me to use my Headhunter belt now. So I put Spirit into the build to kind of be able to do that. And yeah, I had 4 sockets, so each one is 15 Spirit per socket, 60 Spirit right there. So did lose some damage on the bow technically, but I gained some Spirit, but that's totally fine, which I'll go over later. The helmet's the same, other than the fact that you can't put all the rage on there, so I just put maximum mana instead. I figured, hey, mana is part of my life, I don't see why not, so I put 9% increased maximum mana on this helmet. This armor did get a buff from the previous league, and in this league, or just in general. It now has Herald skills deal whatever percent as increased damage. So basically all your Herald skills are going to do more damage now, but it's kind of funny because they also nerfed Herald of Thunder, so I don't know if this kind of like makes up and for the nerf, I guess. I don't know, to get more people to use it, but that's besides the point. The idea is this armor did get buffed, and I did get a new copy of this armor just to get that. So yeah, I did lose a socket, but it's actually okay because I think the bug with the Herald of Ash came to the fact that if you were to corrupt this armor and get a 3rd socket, it would actually bug out Herald of Ash. So I think I did come down to the problem of why Herald of Ash was not allowing you to put support gems on it, but more on that later when I go into my gems. But yeah, this armor did get buff, and I put Amanamu's Gaze and Bryson's Rune of Warding. Sadly, you can only do one of these runes. Same with this one, but that's what I put on the armor, so yeah. Okay, Amulet, I changed my incel to Blade Catcher. More on that later. Rings have been unchanged. The Painter's Glove, you can no longer have 24 increased attack speed, so instead of that, I had 1 increased attack speed, which is the limit, and then 2 increased accuracy because I am using a timeless jewel, and so I do lose a lot of accuracy, so more accuracy is always welcome. So figured that would be the most appropriate. There are other options I could do, but I chose for more accuracy in this case. So yeah. The Headhunter, I'm using this now instead of Wastegate. More on why I'm using it later, but I can now use this without having to use double HP flask to do what I was doing in the previous video. Well, so I will go more on that later, but yeah, I'm now using Headhunter Heavy Belt. Okay, and then the boots are the same besides the sockets, so you can only put 1 of these on there. Pharaoh's Rune of the Chase, so 10 movement speed. And then the other 2, I just put increased life and mana recovery from flasks to improve the recovery of this and this as well. So when it does get translated to guard, it does increase from whatever it's at based on the excess amount. So that's what I did there, and yeah, so I went with 2 Greater Vision runes in this case. Olroth's Life Flask did get a buff. The excess life recovery at his guard is now 20 seconds. Pretty much the same kind of usage here, but it now lasts longer. You don't gotta keep spamming the potion button all the time, so that's a good thing. My charms have been pretty much unchanged. Utopia Stone Charm, Nest and Hope, and Rite of Passage. These have been unchanged. I did start using Melting Maelstrom Ultimate Mana Flask. This did get a buff. This used to be like 50% here of mana spent in those seconds as chaos damage to enemies within 3 meters. Now it's 100%. I mean, I could probably use any other flask besides this, any other mana flask for instant recovery just in case, but it seems to be working well just because I'm using Mind Over Matter. So, I think this is okay. So, yeah. That's the equipment. So let's go over the gems now. So let's go. Okay. Crossbow shot here. Any blue gems, of course. I did mention last video too. Any blue gems, doesn't matter. Just prioritize blue gems here. Pretty straightforward. Herald of Ash. Since it's not working, I did put gems on there. So I put Swift Affliction 2, Deadly Herald, Concentrate Area, and Fire Mastery. That's what I put on my Herald of Ash. Herald of Ice and Thunder is still exactly the same, minus the one socket I'm missing, which is the Leech one that I had on the last video, but if I do get another level 20 version, I would probably put it for more damage in that case. Same for maybe Herald of Ash if I can do that, so we'll see when I get the 5th socket for these Herald skills when I get the level 21, but that's what I'm going to roll with for now. Something I forgot to mention is my armor did get overcorrupted, so the new stat, it rolls from 50 to 100%, but I did get it to 111%. And in regarding to this armor being bugged, I believe as long as you don't get a 3rd socket, you should be a-okay. So if it's just like an increased explicit modifier on this, then I think you'll be fine. Honestly, I was actually pretty happy I got increased damage up past 100%. So I would think having that is better than a 3rd socket in my opinion, so I'll take it. Anyways, Explosive Shot. Only one gem has changed here. I have the new one, Olsen's Oath. So Walk of the Wilds is no longer on the passive tree. That's gotten removed. Now you have to have this lineage gem, and you can only choose one skill to have it on, unless you have a specific helm that allows you to put 2 lineage gems or the Gemling Legionnaires 2 copy of whatever gem. So just something to keep in mind. So yeah, but I did replace out Urgul's Ferocity with this. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. Arjun's Metal did get a buff to 100% chance to load a bolt on all crossbow skills instead of 35. So this is even better now than it was before in the last league. So yeah, that's pretty much Explosive Shot. Stormblast Bolts, pretty much identical outside of me adding Rigwold's Ferocity, and it's actually in Weapon Set 2, because in Weapon Set 2 I do get more damage, even though I have reduced attack speed, so 30% more damage with this, and then this got buffed, Rotha's Assault. Now it loads 4 extra bolts instead of 3, and you also get 20% increased attack speed, so nice compliment there. So Stormblast Bolts is even better now, so there you go. Emergency reloads, pretty much the same. I think the last video had 4 sockets, this one had 5. It really doesn't matter though. The gems are still the same, so emergency reloads is still pretty much the same. Okay, so this is where things did get changed a little bit. Outside of Ward Banner, that's the same. I started using Defiance Banner instead of, I believe, Wind Dancer. So I did put on Prolonged Duration 2 with Thorn Skin 2, and Mobility, Magnified Area, and Profanity. Profanity is this there just for the extra blue gems so I can have majority blue. So that's why I have that. You could probably change it out for something else if you take a gem from Emergency Reload, but I just have it as a filler gem. But there isn't many other options for Defiance Banner, so that's what I rolled with. They also added a new gem in 0.4 called Eternal Rage. This basically regenerates rage per second. So because of that, I no longer need to have a certain passive on the tree, Blood of Rage, to get my rage, because it's based on how many times you use your HP flask. Now I don't have to do that because I'm always having rage. with this gem, you can always keep having rage maxed and topped up right here. So I basically swapped out Overwhelming Presence for Eternal Rage, and then I put all the gems that I did put on that onto here. So yeah, Eternal Rage is actually quite good, and it allows me to be able to use Headhunter because I don't have to worry about finding a way to use my Olroth's potion. So this basically kind of streamlined the process. And yeah, I did have to sacrifice slots to get extra spirit on the crossbow, but I think it's worth it, so I'll take it, you know? No problem. Berserk is still the same, nothing there. Trinity, I believe I'm still using Scavenge Plating. I just put extra thorns on there, so I get thorns from Scavenge Plating. It's 110% increased damage with thorns. Nice little bonus. I don't really rely on it, but pretty cool to have, you know? So, I am using Scavenge Plating also to get more armor on top of Defiance Banner. So, the main changes of the build, I would say, is I'm focusing on getting more armor and to make up some attack speed. So, I'll go over more of that when I get into my passive tree. Then we got Time of Need and Mana Remnants. They're exactly the same, so there you go. Alright, on to the passive tree. Let's do it. Okay. So, as you can see, Walker of the Wilds is no longer there, so I say the 2 points here. They added another node to connect to this, so you will have to spend 4 points instead of 3. So I did spend an extra point in that. Herald damage all the way up to Coming Calamity. That's pretty much the same. From Nothing Diamond, still Val-packed with the Catalyst here. These I did add because I did lose some attack speed since I can only put one of this rune in, the Idol of Sirius. So I kind of made it up here by adding 16% skill speed, which is basically the same as 16% attack speed. So this kind of made up for that, as well as giving me some additional movement speed because I did lose some movement speed as well. So yeah. This has been unchanged. Outside of maybe this one, maybe. I don't think I got this last time, but I digged up the Crystal Elixir. So every time I use this, this will last for 10 seconds. So I believe that's how it works. So any flask effects, so I guess from this too. Yeah, so it'll last for 10 seconds. So for 10 seconds, I'll have 40% increased elemental damage. Just a little bonus, you know? Down here has been unchanged. I'm still mostly immune to chill, so I do have majority blue gems. So crystallized immunities with more blue gems will make me immune to chill. Then I got then I believe I had this too on the old video, but this is pretty much unchanged outside of one thing, which I do have Impenetrable Shell with defend 150% of armor against hits from enemies that are further than 6 meters away. So that is new on the build. So I did take the time to sacrifice a bit of damage to get some more like valuable armor nodes like this one. So that's why I have that. And it's useful as a range character. I don't see why not to get it, you know. I'm a range character, perfectly fine. Now, I did get some points into Rage here, because I'm using Eternal Rage here. And each point of Eternal Rage gives me more damage. And basically, I get more damage since I'm always having Rage, so this is quite nice. This is the same, up to tempered defenses, nothing there. I did get Blade Catcher on my Insil, just to be able to get 200% of armor against critical hits. Critical hits are nasty in this game, so this is actually a nice extra defensive layer as well, alongside 2 other ones I'm going to get, which I'll go over later. This has been the same with Projectile Bulwark, Prism Guard, Vengeful Fury. Then I also have Reinforced Barrier up here with Zealot's Oath. I don't think I had that on the other build video, but basically, even if you have low energy shield like 13, as long as it's full, which is really easy to get this full with how I set this up, I'm going to have 120% of my armor for defense against elemental and physical attacks. So basically I can always have this active with how I'm doing things with my minuscule amount of energy shield, which I did get from the gloves. So making that really useful, you know. So yeah, so I did get reinforced barrier, projectile bulwark, blade catcher, and impenetrable shell to improve my defenses against mostly range attacks with a bit of crits. So these are actually all pretty nice. So yeah, so I did definitely change that. Zealot's Oath is where I need it so I can regenerate energy shield even when my energy shield normally can't recharge. So anything from life regen, like from Vitality 2 and 1, which I do get 64.4 percent, 64.4 life recovery per second from regeneration, which is actually pretty nice. So it just recharges the energy shield instantly. So I'm back to full, because I'm not considered low anymore. So low energy shield, 35% or lower, right there. Pretty straightforward. 35% of that is like what, 3 or 4. So not a big deal at all. So yeah. Okay, and then this is the same. So mind over matter. I did get extra jewel slots too, so I do have some more attack speed and attack damage. So yeah, yeah. So that's the passive tree. So I guess I'll go ahead and run some maps for you guys. Let me just see what I can run here that I think will be interesting to run. So how do we do these then, huh? So let's go run some maps, shall we? Okay. So, I think it's here. Okay. I can just find... we can do Oasis here. Yeah, I'm not going to do super freaking juiced maps, just because my game is going to lag so bad and it can probably crash while I'm recording. So we're not going to do that, but I will do it on stream. So, just so you know. So, these are just typically what the average player will probably face. Like, you can't really desecrate the waystones or instill them anymore, so this is kind of what we have to roll with, so yeah. So let's go ahead and do some maps. I did forget in the last build guide to do maps, so I'm going to take the time and do them today, so why not, you know? I'm mostly going to be just going through these maps. I'm not going to be, like, picking up everything just so we can get to the other maps, you know? I will say he can't run his gun due to some of the movement penalty changes, but he could still move at a pretty decent pace, so I'm not super sad about it, but it's alright, you know? I do feel like if I move and run and gun too fast, it will kind of affect my gameplay. So I feel like maybe that's probably better anyway, you know? The boss here. Right. I have too many waste stones. We're not going to pick those up. Okay, next map. No. You could do Crypt, one of my favorites. Headhunter teleporting me. Of course. Right. Finish this spell. Okay, we can do. Sure. starting to lag now. Alright, last map. I stuck? Game? There you go. That was weird. Again? I'm stuck. Oh boy. Okay, so much for that. Oh, there you go. Okay. Okay, there you go. Okay, so we're pretty much done. All right. And that's it. So there's some mapping for you guys. That being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I am also live on Twitch playing PoE2, so follow me on Twitch as well. Links are all down below. Yeah, I will be going live more on this build probably pretty soon, so look forward to that. With that being said, have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time. So, before I forget though, I did forget to mention that I did change this out for this, so I no longer have this anymore. I just went back to Finn. And that was it. So, anyways, take care, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.